Sending everyone who is struggling from the Arctic vortex right now some love and light and energy as they really need it right now. And so, hi everyone, welcome to New Hampshire. I'm so happy to have you. And if you're my previous subscribers, welcome my baby dinosaurs. And so for today's video, we're going to be talking about the Arctic vortex and what Mother Gaia's message for us as a collective is needed. And towards the end of the video, we will slowly cover some political topics as well, from Ted Cruz to Texas power grid and stuff like that as well. And so this is being live streamed February 18th, 2021 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you guys for showing. If you guys do want to check out and you're interested in checking out my Facebook group, Twitter, and Instagram, you can definitely check out the description below. It's a great way to be notified, especially when YouTube is not notifying you. Here are all my accounts, just so you guys can take a quick look at that as well. And so we're going to jump into the main topic. We're going to jump in and give you a little bit of information. We'll jump into the reading portion of it. I have a whole collection of decks. But before we do begin, I ordered this brand new deck that you guys might be interested, called Millennial Tarot. So I will be using that today as well towards the end of the video to give you guys a little message that you guys may need to hear. All right, so let's do with the disclaimer. All information I give during this live is simply my intuition, my understanding, and download the information from the higher power. Please keep in mind this is just for entertainment purposes only and for educational purposes only as well. All right, so now let's talk about what is a polar vortex. So a polar vortex is a pattern of winds that arises from the Arctic, resembling cyclones that flow around the North Pole year-round. A vortex is most dangerous when it weakens as it creates more acute winter conditions and can lead to extreme frigid weather conditions in the U.S., Europe, and Asia. The heating Arctic may be to blame for the snowstorm in Texas. Scientists argue associating climate change normally connected with roasting heat with unusual winter storms that had crippled swaths of Texas and brought freezing temperatures across the southern U.S. can seem counterintuitive. And then I asked, well, how long can a polar vortex last? However, in a troposphere, which is like one of the layers in the sky, the effect of the SSW, sudden stratospheric warming event, further south jet stream, cold and rainy weather can last up to 8 weeks. So meaning that basically the people in Texas may have to deal with this weather up for 8 weeks. So it really is pretty bad. And then here's one of the GOP politicians was saying. This is what the GOP's methodology in Texas with the vortex. They said, quit crying and looking for a handout. Quote, get your ass off and take care of your own family, wrote GOP Tim Boyd, the then mayor of Colorado City, Texas, in the city's Facebook group. So if you guys want to find out where I'm getting all this information, you'll find this in the description below. So it is pretty bad in terms of how we want to approach and everything. Let's begin with today's question, which you can also find in the description below if you want to figure out what I am going to read beforehand. All right, so what is Mother Nature, also known as Gaia's message to the world with this polar vortex or Arctic blast? All right, so we have a few decks here. We have the Natural Oracle that I'll be using, or hidden messages that Earth wants to tell us. All right, so Spirit Angels tell me, Mother Nature or Gaia, what messages do you have for the world with the Arctic vortex or the Arctic blast? What are you trying to tell us? Okay, so it's dawning. It's a time with a change coming very soon with the climate. So we're starting to see a warmer climate, and that makes a lot of sense. And here's the moonstone. So something's hidden. If you want to stay safe and protected in Texas or wherever you live during this Arctic blast, it's ideal that you hold on to a crystal like a moonstone. And just right after, when there's an Arctic blast or polar vortex, it feels like it basically means that new things will start to bloom from this scenario, from this environment, this heat, this overwhelming of coldness. It feels like something new, like everyone's going to come out of hibernation. It's just going to be beautiful. You're going to be using that my Moonology deck and see what other messages may be taking place or what kind of moon it may be potentially affecting there. So whatever messages they have. All right, so we have here reverse is that meditate and contemplate. So a lot of people around the world right now are not meditating. They're not like doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're not supposed to stay calm and just kind of meditate. And so they just kind of put a lot of people into a mind of awareness, understanding. So if people are not spiritually growing, and so nature's going to do its job, and it's going to force you to have no choice but to undergo a spiritual change, a spiritual awakening. Now we have here as well as we have the whisper of the soul. And so let's just see what our nature has for us. Okay. So we have here courage and caution. So make sure you have some sort of bravery, but also be very cautious with the weather as well. The weather is basically being affected more than ever by humans. And it makes sense because we have here caution at the red and orange. Normally areas that are typically hot and never get snow are getting snow. And it's telling you have courage, enjoy the moment. It's supposed to be upcoming. It's supposed to allow you to be able to enjoy the moment with another person. You're never going to see an experience or have another experience like this collective. It is undergoing a change here. And yes, as crazy as it seems to be that's exactly what Mother Nature wants us to tell us as a collective people. So now the next question that we're going to be covering is, what is Gaia's message for you, the viewer, specifically? So let's take a look at that as well. And, you know, maybe some of this will resonate with you. So we're going to use my Messenger Oracle deck and see what messages they have for you as the viewer. Oh, but guys, I don't know if you noticed, but I have like a marble table now. I wanted this for so long, so I hope you guys do like this. It's a nice change. It's loving. It's very uplifting. All right, so what is Gaia's message for my viewers specifically? Gaia, what is your message? All right, so for the first card you got was be without malice. So be very kind to people. Don't be very dark. Look how evil this woman looks, right? Very dark, very unkind, very crude. Right? And so don't be like those politicians who's saying, like, be survival of the fittest. Like, don't do that. Like, just be you and just be yourself. Because you know what? Those people are going to get the blunt of what they don't have coming just yet. And we have here as well, we have Honor Gaia. And it's funny enough, Gaia, we're talking about Gaia here. And this is Honor Gaia. And this is number 18. Well, I think today's the 18th, if I'm correct, right? 18th, right? Yeah, so February 18th, so this is significant. So again, Mother Gaia is trying to send out the message that we need to honor her and don't take advantage of Earth or Mother Nature. Because there is a message here. Mother Nature is trying to put forth that today, when I did the video, it was very important for us to get the message that we must be kinder to Mother Nature. For you as well, she has here that love that you are different. A lot of you guys don't appreciate that you guys are different, that you don't have an understanding of who you are, and that you feel like you're weird compared to other people who don't understand you. But the point is, Mother Gaia is trying to tell you that it's okay to be different, because beautiful things come to those who are different. Like if you often look at butterflies, when they have a different pattern that is very rare, because they are different, they are often seen as more beautiful. So that's the same message that she is trying to portray to you. And we have here as well, embrace the feminine. And this is all about green here. Look at all the green. And I do apologize for this, but this is for art only. And so we do have here, there's a lot of green here. It's all about love, compassion, earthly energy, right? And she's trying to send you a message that just embrace the feminine side of you. Even if you're a male specifically, it's okay to be a little feminine, because that's what makes you you. And that's what's really important here. And that is the message that Mother Nature is trying to tell you. So I hope you guys do take away from personal messaging that you guys have been trying to give you, or Mother Gaia is trying to give you specifically. So let's do how many days or weeks will this last? So let's take a look. So we have 2. It could be 18 days. It could be 1 day, could be the next day, and then it's over. It could also be 1 to 8 weeks. So it really depends here. Yeah, so it could be a 1-1. It could be 1 week, 2 weeks, 11 weeks even. Then we have a 0. So it could be 10 days or 10 weeks. So it does look like there is a within the immediate range. It does feel like everything is like just happening the way as it should. All right, so it's just our last big snowstorm. So let's just see if we can get like a yes or a no. All right, so we have here Joe Biden at the helm, right? What we have here in the past is that now we have a man in the highest power in the office who believes in climate change, and that there must be something that must be done about it. However, in the past, they've been pushing this narrative that climate change is a thing, but also that the previous president has been pushing the narrative that climate change of the host. And so by having this vortex, this Arctic vortex, is making a lot of people question the validity of whether or not global warming is true or is actually a real thing. It is. And we do have here as well on the right side, we have ceiling of information. So, you know, a lot of people who once believed in climate change are no longer questioning that. And so here's why that's pretty significant here as well. Let me just remove this part of the screen. But actually look here, it said, why is it so cold, right? You guys can find this on USA Today. I'll put this in the description below. But actually look here, there's purple, right? This purple circle looks like a recycle. That is where the normal Arctic air is located. And this is the jet stream, right? It doesn't really touch us. However, as you go down, this is the normal polar vortex. This is the North Pole, right? That's what the North Pole is. However, because of the Arctic vortex and the warming over here where the normal polar vortex is, because of that, it's global warming at the top, and because in this place is the cold air. So guess what? When you take a shower, what rises? Hot air rises to the top, cold water stays to the cold air stays to the bottom because of its density level. Same thing here. So the warm level is raised into the top of the polar vortex, where the polar vortex is touching majority of the U.S. About 41 states are affected by this. And so you can clearly see that Texas and San Antonio have 5 and 9%, and there's an icy mix. So if you guys want to take a more in-depth look on how to save your stuff and stuff like that as well, I'll put this in the description below for you. But global warming is a thing and it is valid. So please don't think it's not. It is. All right, so how would the vortex affect the 41 states that were affected by this phenomenon? So let's take a quick look at that as well and see what messages they have for us. So I'm using this deck. Okay, so we have here independence. So again, I was talking about our independence, our lack of ability to be able to help the government. Help the environment. And so a lot of us have just kind of been laid back. Some of us have not been laid back. Some of us have been activists and protesters and stuff like that for environmental change. Right here undergoing currently, we have see all the beauty around you. A lot of people are not appreciating their current environment, and because of it, what they're doing is just trashing their own environment. So it does play into this narrative here, right? And then towards the end, we do have fertility. Like I said, a lot of dark things become great things. And again, we do have here fertility. It really means that like a lot of these animals in the tropical areas, especially particularly in the south, are going to start thriving because of this phenomenon that's taking place. So it is very important within the 41 continuous states within the United States is pretty important. So please do not lose hope. It is very important that you do not. Excuse me. It's just a message of global warming. Spirits and angels tell me. Yes, it is. Because we have here, get busy, and it's bees, right? Bees are very busy. They like pollen and stuff like that. They make the honey from it. It's reversed right now, which tells me that these people are not getting busy, active in, or letting the voices be heard that the environment needs to be protected, or you need to be protected. Because if you don't have a home where you live, right? And we also have here as well, crystal clear. It's a little mixed message. It's not like a crystal clear message, but it is a message that's going to be, it's a phenomenon that scientists are going to try looking at and say, how can we, as a country and as a collective moving forward, change? How can we help ourselves? And so now we're going to start with the political questions as well. Is how is Ted Cruz going to fare in the 2025 Senate race or his Senate seat in general? Because he is running, how is Ted Cruz going to fare in the 2025 Senate race or his Senate seat in general? What do we need to know about this? Again, I see Texas, his seat is going to go to a Democrat woman. So it does look like Beto O'Rourke does not run against him or run against for his seat. It looks like maybe MJ Hager potentially may take his seat as the next Democratic senator in Texas. And we do have here in the past, this is the signal, the end of a GOP rule in Texas. And come 2024, come 2025, it's going to start signaling that Texas is moving faster and faster to the Democratic Party and away from the GOP. And so there's that. I do see his seat going to the Democrats. Now, will Texas finally take part in joining the U.S. power grid? Texas is the only state that's not a part of the power grid, and they've been pushing this narrative. Windmills, that's what they're called. Windmills, that they are the ones causing this. But quite frankly, it's not windmills because They refused to allow heaters in those windmills to keep it going. So it's partly on the GOP for doing that. Will Texas finally take part in joining the U.S. power grid? What do we need to know about this? Will they take part in this? So the challenge is, okay, so the part is that they don't want to give Biden administration, this is Biden, right? They don't want to give him a win, but they're going to have no choice. The people in the constituents in Texas are going to force their hand, and they're going to end up with a Democratic victory. Potentially, my generation, the young generation, is going to stand up and start activating and activism and protesting in the state of Texas. Potentially, you may see mixed ages as well in there protesting for this particular event to happen. And so I do hope you guys are safe in Texas as well. You said, Angel said, our water is back on, but lower flow, and we have to boil water. We melt the snow the other day to fill toilet. Oh, God, that's really bad. I'm really sorry for anyone who's experiencing this right now. I do pray for you. All right, so we have two more questions. How will the climate change message be changing from this point out? Because of people, and especially within the QAnon conspiracy realm, are pushing this narrative that climate change is not real because it is. So what do we need to know about this? How will climate change message be changing from this point out? Okay, so we have here's the challenges. So we have the challenge is that it's kind of stopped a lot of support, at least particular in the GOP or the Republican Party, from acknowledging that climate change is real, especially with the California wildfires. We have here, as well as we have the Ace of Cups, there is going to be a lot of support, especially among Democratic voters and people of who are very pro climate. We have here, it's all going to be diverse. So the next in 2022 midterms is going to be about helping the environment. That's what's going to be going forward. And we have here, if the GOP or the Republican Party do not latch on, they will end up losing the midterm. They will lose because they're not going pushing this message that they need to help. Again, this is a big victory for Joe Biden. And so it feels like that's exactly what's happening right now. Everything just going the way as it should, I guess. Right? And for our last question is, will Cruz resign after being caught flying to Cancun, Mexico to avoid dealing with Texas blackout? Again, we have Biden and Kamala here. We have Biden coming in, right? So Biden, the president, the executive, will be coming in. It basically feels like Ted Cruz does not want to deal with this because he wants, if it fails, he wants to blame Biden for it because he might be planning for a presidential run in 2024. And we do have here, as well as we do have the Queen of Cups, right? Containing everything that's going on, everything that's happening, right? And we have here, as well as we have the Queen of Pentacles. And it's just for like electoral college advantage. It's just his seat, right? However, he will be judged for his handling and it of this. And because of it, it will have a lot of support. And he may potentially be recalled. Or if he does not resign, he will be recalled. Or he might, like I said, he's going to be removed somehow. Anyway, this is a long time ago, way before this happened. They will have enough support to oust him from his seat, and there will be a change. So it does look like he may actually end up having no choice but to end up leaving his seat anyway, either by the insurrection or anything like that. It does feel like he has no choice and can't stay. If you live in Texas or if your state is being affected in any particular way, I wish you nothing but the best. And just so you guys are aware, I will be going live potentially tomorrow and be changing the date to tomorrow to be talking about Miss McConnell, or it could be on Saturday, depending on what. Just check it just to make sure if the time or date has changed. But I'll be talking about Miss McConnell resigning and whether or not he is going to resign. So definitely stay tuned for that. See quickly what messages you guys have for you. Okay. I want to give you one card. Close your eyes and get attuned to these cards. Spirits and angels, tell me, what are some messages that you have for my viewers, for anyone watching this now and in the future? Interesting. We have SC Queen, and then we have the suited launch. So we have the Empress and Death. It feels like a lot of you guys are going into your intuitive change, intuitive self, and everything that's going on. We do have here, as well as we have the SG Queen, right? Number 3, I'm seeing something with the 3 here is very significant for you. Potentially, maybe you might be seeing 333 or 111. It might be something particularly with that. So pay attention to those messages. There is a message here that you're starting to undergo a spiritual change, a spiritual awareness and understanding. And then I also have here as well as student loan versus debt. There is a change for you guys. Maybe you might be overcoming student debt and student loans or stuff like that as well. And there is messages on the back of each. So for the SC Queen, we have powerful, independent, confident, and crafty. You're very, you have a very strong online presence. People know you. People love you. You do have a very important impact. And for other people who may resonate with this, you have a soul-crushing long-term and expensive future ahead. But like I said, it feels like a lot of you guys are overcoming a lot of your student debts now. Now, please keep in mind, it's just a general reading. Just take what resonates, leave the rest behind. And we do have here, you're starting to understand the economy and how it works and how it functions and how it affects you. And you're starting to take it more seriously. I love you and have a beautiful night. Bye.